whenever they talk about someone who could have and they didn't, the word normally is used, they had such great potential.
Yeah.
And I've always thought this way. At the end of my days, whenever people come and they throw dirt on me, I don't want it to be said he has such great potential.
Yes, because that means that you didn't achieve.
You didn't achieve. And a lot of times, especially growing up where I grew up and coming from some of the background I come from, and you can relate to this, and a lot of you guys too, out there can too. There's a lot of us who grew up in those streets, and we're surrounded by a ton of people who had potential.
Could have pulled you in there easily.
Well, it could have pulled you in, but a lot of them who fell in had potential.
Yes. I mean, just think of some of the biggest pharmaceutical reps, street pharmaceutical reps that are incarcerated. Meach just got out.
Yes.
He had a multi-million-dollar business. If you would have turned that to, and he was trying to, but his concern was everybody else not being able to, so he was carrying people. But in order to run a multi-level business, you have to be a genius to an extent, and it requires a tenacity, a grind to do anything. I don't care who you are. If you're successful, and people's level of success is different, and that's what part of the grind is. I just want to make $50,000. Okay, great.
And you make it a great point, because I've yet to ever meet a successful pharmaceutical rep. No. Street pharmaceutical rep who was a dummy.
Yeah, no.
Like when you talk about knowing numbers, especially the ones who are in the kitchen.
Yes.
Knowing the chemistry and everything. No, bro. And then knowing business organization. Yeah. Bro, no.
Yeah.
And you always think, if Jay-Z's a perfect example of that.
Yes. To take it from there and be able to, and it's the transition. Being able to transition from your past life to, I can't do this forever, because there's nobody who did that is still alive today with that much money, or
100%.
Hasn't been in jail for 20 years 100%. And now coming out. So
I'm glad you said that, because I just thought about it. I'm not saying anybody out there should start there and then that's how you're going to end up like Jay. Not at all.
No.
He's one in a lifetime situation.
And he wasn't as deep in as...
No.
But again,
he was in.
Yes, if you're in the game, you understand being in the game. But I tell it, when I used to do jail ministry, I'd be like, was that 18 months? Because that's all you did was 18 months of living good. Worth 5-10 years of your life.
Because when you say in the game, you can have a toe in the game and still end up one way or the other.
Yeah, listen, it don't take but one little thing, and you're doing 7 years.
Yes,
if not longer.
Or we singing songs.
Again, listen, and that's what I tell them all the time. Like, listen, was it worth it? That great month that you might have had all the partying that you wanted to do, but you're not home for your kids. You're not home for your wife or your girlfriend. So now she done moved on. Your mom has passed away because you had 18 months of fun.
Well, that's the other part, I guess, of this conversation. Then, not just are you born with hustle or not born with hustle, is if you do have it, who sees it first?
Yeah.
And who pulls you in
first?
First?
And this is where the smart hustler I don't want to say dumb hustler, but you understand in that game, and we're just using that as an example, you can't do it forever. And I give 18 months, and that's a long period of time. It's not even that much anymore. You have to be able to transition to something different. And if you look at anybody who was doing it big, they were all trying to transition out of it.
Eventually, every movie you see.
Yes.
It's that whole Godfather thing where Michael Corleone was like, oh, yeah, now I'm going to take the business and we're going to,
legalize it
and make it legal. Yeah. Put us into some clean shit, casino. And every movie, damn near you see, that's always what they're trying to do. And that's what you always hear.
Yes.
Real life thugs and gangsters do say too.
Listen, by the grace of God, that it wasn't, because I was real close to being in the orange jumpsuit, but he pulled me out and said, no. Again, I think everything we go through in life, the hustle part of us is never diminished, because I'm still a hustler. I just understood that I can't hustle that way. I need to hustle smarter, is what they say. I didn't want to be a crash dummy. I always knew I was smarter than a crash dummy. Even in the military, they was like, dude, you can never be a private. And even in life, in everything I do, I'm always a supervisor, a manager, I'm in the upper circle, because my personality, my hustle does everybody else, because I don't want to be a peon. I don't want to be a regular. I don't know how to put that outfit on.
Yeah, but I want to say this though. There's a lot of people who think that way, and I've been related to them, and they had such great potential. And what I'm going to say to that is, a lot of us out here don't want to be here. Mm-hmm. We want to be here or here. We want to be in the inner circles. We feel like we should be a part of the decision. What's that?
Are you willing to work for it?
And that's it. We don't take the steps to get there. You think I should just have, and that is not the way it works. You
and I don't know if it's, and I'm not trying to beat up on the younger generation, the Z's or the X's. Well, I don't even know what Y's, whatever you guys are called now.
I think it's zeros or A's.
Yeah, zeros probably works. So, whatever you're calling yourselves. Nothing that you see like the people who have achieved these things, they didn't just show up. They didn't just scratch off and suddenly become this. It's hard. It took work. It took grinding. It took being low man and then showing yourself to have potential, and then maybe hitting a ceiling at this specific spot and having to go somewhere else. Most people don't stay at the same place or job or area anymore. You have to continue in order to elevate, because somebody doesn't want you to take their job, and eventually you're going to take somebody's job. And if you're not smart enough to know when to pivot or when to change, you're going to get stuck and stepped on.